になる傷だらけの願いを超えて君を守れるさあ求めて失っている無色の自分に気づいて締め付けた赤色の感性が美しく見えて曖昧な正義突き刺した己が生み出す痛みが埋めた時目をテストしようしてよこのライフは美しい君の未来なのにいたくなっちゃうから固めてね夢なんか欲しくもないものばかりだ二人をさせてよ届きそうなんだ言えた夢の花が赤く輝く
Hey everybody, welcome to Unlimited Railworks Anime of the Year discussion for the year of 2023, even if it's 2024 now, which actually, more and more, I do stand by our choice to do Game of the Year and Anime of the Year stuff in January, because it's just like, it's fucked to do it in the same year, I think. It's like, how do you really take stock of it all? Give it that separation of, like, mental brain state, you know? But yeah, we're here to talk about all that stuff. With me, as always, is John.
Hello, everybody. Anime happened last year, and we got to talk about it.
There was quite a bit of it, too. Which, I know LV watched a lot of it, for sure. Like, more than any of us last year, especially.
I agree what you said about the mental brain state. Whatever phrasing that.
Yeah, I don't know what I would. You know what I mean, though. Yeah.
The sponge. Like, you know when you use a sponge too much and, like, it's starting to get dirty and you're like, you gotta really throw out that sponge. You gotta replace that.
Yeah,
That's disgusting.
exactly. Like, how are you supposed to take care of 2023 when you're still thinking about 2023? You know, you can't think about it.
Let it soak. Yeah.
And Maverick is also here.
Oh, barely.
So you'll be reinvigorated by the Hawaiian spirit soon enough.
Maybe. I would love to be reinvigorated by, like, my shows, too, but it's just been... Again, I get in those moments where it's like, oh, I don't want to watch anime, I want a game. Or then it's, I don't want a game, I want to watch anime.
The vicious cycle.
A horrible cycle. Just put me out of my misery, honestly.
No, I feel that extremely because I am behind on, like, literally everything. Like, I'm still finishing. Elvie was saying she was finishing up things from last season. I'm still working on that. I have to get,
believe me.
Which, you know, it helps that this season isn't very thrilling, let's say. There's, like, a couple good shows, but it's very low-key comparatively to...
That is to say there's still a lot of... I don't know about a lot. There's still a handful of things on my back burner, so it's not like...
Yeah, it's not really free time here or anything. It's more like, well, we can get caught up a little bit.
Or rather, like, I finished this enough where I think I have a conclusion of how I feel about it, and it's like, okay.
I just got back to watching High Card Maverick.
Oh, yeah.
Because that new season's going. And I was like, you know what? High Card's pretty alright.
Right. I need to actually watch the new season.
It only just started. It's fine. You have so much time. You have so much time.
Yeah, we say that now.
Speaking of time, it is time to go over that anime of the year I mentioned. So, yeah, you know, if you've listened to us before, you know, I think we've had the same category since we started, right? Pretty much. I don't think we've really added anything or changed much.
It's a good spread.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of covered everything in the first go. So let me open up this categories list real quick so I can run it by you. Because we of course have our unique phrasing, for lack of a better term. that we've always used. Nothing on par with Balan Wonderworld's Juicin Award or whatever the hell we have going on over in the game side of things. But we do have, let me see here. Okay, so we have our favorite anime, our worst blight on the year, which is the worst anime, best opening, best ending, best OST, best visuals, best assigned show, most surprising, most disappointing, best character you want to fling into the sun, biggest what the sweet hell moment of the year, tightest shit, on the back burner, quickest drop, overlooked, and most baffling anime. I will say, I know we had to deal with Attack on Titan this year. I don't think there was many what the sweet hell moments this year compared to what we've had to deal with in the past.
I don't think any of us attempted or bothered to watch Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
You couldn't pay me enough.
Maybe
We didn't have any oh man, what was it that one year where we all Wonder Egg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't have like any Wonder Egg.
we didn't have we don't have a united bad anime.
Yeah, not to like jump ahead too much, but I will say my choice for what the sweet hell moment is a positive one. So, like I'm just
Mine's kind of too, yeah.
interpretation. Yeah.
But we can get to that in time. What should we start with here? We could just start with like favorite anime, but usually, they save that for the end of these award shows in the real world. I don't know if there's any in particular you guys feel like
I
starting.
think we usually do that at the end.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Like worst and best are usually
Well, we could do
last.
best opening then, I suppose.
Yeah.
That would
Yeah,
be a good
sure.
opener. All right.
Yeah.
So,
For the opener.
I will just run down our alphabetical order of names here on the Discord call. So, best opening. LV, what did you pick for best opening?
Yeah. I had to think about it. I had to think about it because there was like anime openings that were are definite bangers, but then when Vinland Saga Season 2's opening was this very sad gothic song called River, I was like, oh, this is gonna be good. Yeah, that's a very good song. It's something that I think is very fitting and thematic to what this particular season of Vinland Saga, this particular arc of Vinland Saga is about. I think it's a very good song. Happy Marriage my Happy Marriage has a very good OP as well. I think to also get ahead, like I think it has a very good soundtrack as well. But yeah, Vinland Saga is like very somber, like in contrast to like the crazy wild metal music it has in the first season. I think that's very stellar. I think that's very good. The Masterful Cat is Depressed also has a very good OP. But those are all like, this is catchy. I think this is good production. But I think Vinland Saga's song River, which is also in English, by the way. I was like taken aback. I remember it's in English. It's just in full English. Is just very solid, and I think like just good in terms of like choice for the purpose of like I guess this arc's narrative. I think mostly.
Yeah, it stands out.
It hits you
too.
I also like the sequence. I think the sequence is very cool. Like at a glance, it's very simple, but there's like a lot of interesting transitions in it that are like once you realize like, oh, that's a cool reference to this. So yeah,
it's a good pick. Vinland Saga kind of always has banger openings in general, I think.
oh yeah, yeah. For every mood.
Yeah.
Like this is the sad stage, right? Yeah.
And then the second art core had a more like, it was still pretty sad, but it was a more action.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was kind of cycling back to that kind of adrenaline. Yeah.
John, how about you?
All right. Well, my choice is Undead Murder Farce.
Pretty good one.
That
Oh,
opening,
yeah.
like the visuals as well as the song. Oh my god! Like I just keep thinking about the.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah. No, it sets the scene very well too. You know, like every episode, you slip into that show, and you're just like, yeah, we're gonna see some cool shit. We're gonna see some crazy shit. We're gonna see some fighting. We're gonna see some fucking at times even. You know, shit goes down in that show, and that OP just summarizes it perfectly.
I agree with you. I almost put that as mine because I really like the visuals specifically towards the end when they start doing the mirroring and stuff like that. It looks really great. But I ended up picking Trickstar from High Card, which is Trickster. It's called Trickster, but they love to say words in that opening, and I think that's what really resonates with me. Because they have the me and Maverick were talking when it was airing. They say I'm feeling goosebumps every single time for Goosebumps, and then they just go, I'm the trick star, and then it like breaks down and it's like great. But it's just a really good opening. I think again great visuals because they go for like the focus on colors over anything else, very simplistic like monotone stuff, and then it's just fun. It's just a fun thing that sets the tone for that show. I really liked it. How about you, Mav?
For me, I think I went ahead and set Skip and Low for opening.
It's a good one.
It's a good one. It's fun. It's cute. They do a little dance. Song's good. All you need.
I saw that the Skip and Loafers getting involved with the tsunami earthquake reconstruction stuff, which is really great.
Because it takes place at that prefecture that was most impacted.
Or Mitsumi is from that prefecture specifically.
Okay.
Because it's set in Tokyo, but the whole bit is like she's from
there.
From
yeah,
the
okay.
countryside, right?
She's we have 2 anime opinions for opening.
Yeah,
sent
sure.
in.
Okay.
Yeah. Cursed A Mage. Cursed A Mage. It's not Cursed Mage. They Cursed A Mage. Says, Agus Bride's second core OP was very pretty in every way, and Heavenly Delusion's OP was swag AF at depicting spaces. And this second opinion, which is merged with a later opinion we'll get into, Otaku Elf had the best OP of 2023 by Toast Crust.
It was a good one, honestly. I didn't end up watching a lot of that show, but it did have good music to it in general.
Yes, it did.
The ending had the
I
stop
feel like-
motion stuff, right? Or
Yeah. I feel like a lot of us like dipped into that show and we just did not commit to it.
Yeah, I watched like 2 or 3
Like, very
episodes,
early
and I was
on.
just kind of like, okay, that exists, sure.
Yeah, it's like here's the gimmick. That's it.
all right. Then do you want to keep on the same thing? We can just go to best ending here to stay on this level. We can just knock out all 3 music things.
Oh yeah.
Elvie, what did you pick for best ending?
Yeah, like as a coin flip to Cursed A Mage's opinion, I think Heavenly Delusion's ending is very good. Not the OP. The OP is very pretty visually. I think the ending song is very good. And once again, I think Vinland Saga's angsty music also good. Otaku Elf, the Otaku Elf ending is also like, but Heavenly Delusion's ending, I think, really stuck with me. I think it's very, very, very interesting production, I think. I don't know if also like, unless I'm mixing it with how the OP sometimes, but like, you know, like partway through once you realize some of like the interesting narrative twist, I think it changes a bit. I could be mixing that up with the OP sequence though, but yeah, Heavenly Delusion for me.
It's a good pick. John, how about you?
I picked Pokemon Concierge.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Sure. That's a good vibe setter.
Super good vibe setter. You know, we got a little bit of everyone is super stoked that the classic Mariya Takeuchi the plastic love lady herself came in to do that. It's
her.
It's just a super pretty song. I like it a lot.
I picked the, even though I wasn't a huge fan of the show overall, I did pick the second ending to Witch from Mercury, Gundam. I think that's Red Birthmark. That one's pretty good. It just, I would say that is an ending that is far better than the source it is coming from. Like, it doesn't set up a tone for what, it sets an expectation for what you think that show should be doing, maybe, that it never really quite does. But it's a really good one, very Drakengard-y, which I think the animators even said, yeah, we like Drakengard, so.
Yeah, similarly, I thought that was a good one. But honestly, a runner-up, now that you made me remember the show, High Card's ending is a lot of fun.
That's true, too. The karaokeing and singing along in the car.
Yeah, just very easy, very quick, like, fun little bit.
Yeah. Is that what your pick is, then?
Oh yeah, my pick was the G-Witch ending as well, but I at least wanted
It's
to
a good ending.
It's really good.
A lot of good ending. I must confess what I ended up doing here to go through openings and endings was I watched one of those like fucking like my top 70 anime opening and endings of the year or whatever, and just going through all of them. I was like, you know what? Most of these are pretty good. Will take umbrage with those lists though, because they pick some of the worst ones to be the best ones every single time, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm sure Boku no Heroes is the best opening of.
I never know what they're gauging it on.
Yeah, I mean that's music take, right? It's all subjective.
Well, that's the thing,
insanity.
though. Is it specifically only focusing on music, or are you also
Or the
taking
visuals,
music and visual into mind? Because, yeah, G-Witch Season 2 easily is a good combination of, like, a very impactful song, but also the visual component, like, really adding into display there.
Right, but then, like, you think of, like, there might be, like, and then that's also true for the High Card, Drew, right? Like, it's a fun visual and then also just a fun song.
Yeah, exactly. You're having the concept, like, baked into the song. For me, a good opening or ending is when you have the visual essentially acting as a music video for the song instead of, like, trying to just, like, overlap the two.
Yeah.
Because there are moments where, like, the song works totally fine. Like, I'm not going to discount Pokemon Concierge at that point. I'm a fucking sucker for the Mariya Takeuchi, Tatsuro Yamashita island jam over just, like, stop-motion beach scenery. That encompasses a vibe.
You don't need much more, right? Yeah.
You don't need much more. So, I'll take that, but then it's like, in other cases, it'll depend. Like, you know, Laid Back Camp, fantastic songs, but I'm not necessarily sitting there thinking that, like, those endings are, like, fantastic. It's like, oh no, I'm getting ready to, like, go take a nap.
All right. Then let's go on to Best OST. LV, what did you pick for Best OST?
Okay. I alluded to, like, I think Happy Marriage has a very good soundtrack. Like, there's, like, a lot of nice quiet moments in that show where, like, sometimes, you just sometimes need a little simple piano. Same thing with Apothecary Diaries. Like, they both are kind of, like, period pieces. So, like, I think they really accentuate, like, they avoid, like, doing, some over anachronistic thing that I think really kind of takes you out, like but I was like, kind of like listening to them in isolation and like being like, oh okay, yeah, these also like work in isolation and not just supplementing like a dialogue scene and all that. However, I think my real pick is the Miki to Dali soundtrack, which is like the most Professor Layton ass bullshit.
It's a good way of putting it.
Which works well for it. Yeah, it's just a fucked up, sinister shit. No, yeah, it works well for it. The whole like, the whole deal. So yeah,
it's good one.
Like something twisted is about to happen, and you kind of
always know.
Hear the little motif. Yeah, you just always know.
John.
Well, I'm already overlapping because I didn't watch that much. I've realized while I was putting this together.
I mean, that's fine. I have a bunch of dupes on here.
But yeah, my favorite OST was also Undead Murder Farce. Like, yeah, that show just has incredible music too. Like,
Yeah.
it's yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think we talked about it at the time, but like them getting the Rakugo people for that show specifically was like such a good idea because they like really knew how to like do all the scene direction and like capture the vibes for everything, set up everything. It's good.
Yeah, and there's like a lot of good sound cues during bits. I remember like even emulating kind of that sound too of like a Rakugo performance.
Yeah. Mine is a little cheap because the actual show isn't out yet, but the OVA for Fate Strange Fake is what I put because I love Hiroyuki Sawano. I don't know if you know this, and just everything that they had going on in there for the Sawano music makes me so excited for that series to see a Fate show that actually cares about music the way that the games have historically. Because the games can do a lot of fun, but the shows are pretty boring. Like, when you watch Unlimited Blade Works, it's like they have Unlimited Blade Works, the song, and that's like pretty much it. The Emiya theme. And it's like, they don't really go that crazy otherwise, so. It was fun to see them actually care for that stuff. Especially with silly stuff like the Gilgamesh fight. How about you, Maverick?
I kind of blanked on this one where, you know, I probably agree that Undead Murder Farce has like my favorite music in general. I went with the Oshinoko OST, but more specifically like the idol songs that they came up with. Because those are some pretty good songs.
Yeah. There was honestly, I was looking at a bunch of things and I was like, honestly, a lot of pretty good soundtracks from the stuff we watched. But also a lot of that was me looking at shows we had watched for the podcast, I think, also. Because I was just going through my Annie list of like date updated my entry and stuff like that.
Right.
I was like, oh yeah, a lot of bangers.
No, yeah, it was definitely one where like if I had prepped better, I would have been listening to a lot more total like albums, but whatever.
There's always next year.
Always.
Always, forever. All right. I guess in a similar vein of like getting in the real mechanical bits, we could go to best visuals. LV, how about you?
Wow, yeah. I don't want to just say I think Scott Pilgrim Takes Off is really excellent in how they adapted that art style. Like, just hands off, it's very consistent. It's so good. Like, it doesn't feel like a cheap. Like you know, kind of like sometimes when things adapt an art style and or is parodying art style, it sometimes comes off as really bad. Like, I think a lot, you know, how sad sometimes I look at like Warner Brothers animation stuff and how they adapt the DC characters, and it's like, what's going on here? This doesn't look good. But Scott Pilgrim like really does a good job in every aspect and the art direction, everything. I found I can't think of like a single frame where something looked bad, like, or there was no issue. But I do have to hand it again back to like Heavenly Delusion has just amazing production, like from scenery to backgrounds. I think like kind of like one of the most unique looking anime that has come out like in the last several months. It's like just a lot of really gorgeous scenes that I think also really heightens how it's also basically a horror series, and it kind of makes a lot of the stuff that happens even more disturbing because it's also very beautiful. So
I like that answer. John, how about you? I'm not going to blame you if you say what I think you will.
Yeah, Pokemon, it's Pokemon Concierge. Yeah.
Not to blame you at all.
that's also good. Yes, yes.
Yeah, you know, it's really amazing stop motion stuff, and I love the character designs and how all the Pokemon look. Just like, I don't know, I'm super weak to seeing the little bits of like fabric and felt, and you know, even like the little like hairs that are coming off of the fabric and all that. It's very lovely, and that entire show was just, it was 4 episodes of a nice hug, and the way that it looked
I
was
agree.
all
Like
part
they
of it.
really, they really made the Pokemon very adorable in a tactile way, very soft, like kind of like the complete opposite of what happened, I think, in Detective Pikachu, where they just like the weird uncanny. It just really made them really unappealing to look at. But this, on the other hand, made them. They kind of like pulled back on that, and they're not making them realistic, obviously, but I think they got the textures right that didn't,
I almost picked Pokemon Concierge, but then I figured that you were going to pick Pokemon Concierge, so I figured I'd mix it up.
Everyone can have Pokemon.
It's hard not to, right? It's a great looking program.
Right.
But I ended up picking, despite some reservations, because it's really scary sometimes with what they did. I did pick 100 Girlfriends. The animation is just very good. It's just very quick. It's very well done. It looks great. It's very fluid. They do a lot of great bits. It's not like the highest production ever or anything, but they had a lot of fun with it. The openings and endings look really nice. It's just fun. It just moves so fast. It matches the irreverent tone of like when you're reading that as a manga, it's so rapid fire with its insanity, and you think that they can't like maintain that in a 24-minute show, but they do. I think they do a great job of just like hard cuts, slam, bam, like moving everywhere all the time. Yeah, I think it just stood out to me the more I watched it and when I finished it. How about you, Maverick?
I forgot Scott Pilgrim happened,
I also did until Elvie said that.
and I watched it all and I loved it.
Yeah, me too.
Is it anime discourse? Yeah.
But no, Skip and Loafer.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's a very nice
Yeah.
looking show.
Very wonderfully looking show. Just really did a good job of taking the mangaka's art style and translating it for animation. Just cozy, good, love it.
Good choice. All right. So now I guess we can get into, again, keeping on mechanical, we can go into writing here. So we can go best character. How about that? Best character. Elvie, who is your favorite character?
Okay. I if I were to bring up Pokemon again, I'm embracing what people call the autism Pikachu in the last episode. Because it's he's a he, right? Yeah, because he doesn't have the heart tail.
Yeah.
Like that Pokemon is just
heart
assigned.
tail.
Yeah. Yeah, something about that Pikachu is too good. It's just devastating.
No,
Oh my
I
god,
know.
this Pokemon is depressed.
We watched that in a group setting, and everyone just kept going, "No, don't make him go out."
And I don't know if they realize what they did. They somehow made an excellent portrayal of again, however you want to interpret it. Is it autism or is it depression? They made a very antisocial character in with their iconic mascot that usually never is depicted that way, and I think that's interesting. He's very good.
It's true. You don't. I know that the anime delves into all sorts of things, but there is just a very humanistic quality to that Pikachu in particular that
Yes, something about that Pikachu.
It's not even a main character Pikachu, that's just just some
Right.
guy's Pikachu. Yeah. How about you, John?
Man, I feel like a fucking dumb idiot because you're just making me say the same ones over and over again.
No, it's fine.
I said Suguru from Undead Murder Farce.
He's a great
Bakugo
one.
guy. Yeah. He's really good in this. Man, yeah, I have a bunch of other answers for shit. You're just asking for like the same one over and over.
I'm sorry.
He's a
I'm
cool
sorry.
guy.
But like also like
He's
genuinely
fucking
like
cool, though,
it's a
yeah.
great show. Is the thing.
It is.
So you're gonna find things from it that just like being like, yeah, this is why I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's great, but of course there is just like him playing off of everybody is what really makes him so good. But yeah, the fact that they're just like, yeah, here's this like half orc or half Oni guy who's does Rakugo while he's beating the shit out of monsters because he's able to kill other monsters, but he's got that humanity in him. And he's showcasing that humanity by participating in the arts. It's cool, it's smart.
He's a very unique character. More than anything is I think what really shone through me. I almost said him, but then I remembered my favorite man, which is Solitaire from Dead Mount Deathplay. Solitaire is a like I wouldn't even say fail. He's pretty successful, but he's very cringe. Like 45-year-old man who's a magician, and he just goes around like doing insane things all the time. The police have to have a special task force for him, even though he doesn't really do like major crimes. His like worst crime, the worst crime they joke about him doing is he kidnapped like the entire diet or something of Japan one weekend, and then they all came back and they were like, "Oh, Solitaire is so cool," and he's just doing shit like that all the time, and it's just such an endearing character in that world because it's like I already love like, you know, the Yakuza template of 45-year-old fail guy or whatever, but him being a magician in a world where people are doing actual magic is so great. I always love when you have someone who's just so good at what they do that they can like keep in line with the stupid fantasy characters. Very fun guy. Every time he shows up, I was popping off. How about you, Maverick?
Best character, Mitsumi Skippin' Loafer. Like,
sorry that I'm torturing you for the multiple.
No, it's fine because you're making me remember the light in my life. The fucking the goat. God.
I mean, you like that so much. You read the whole damn manga.
I need to catch up still, honestly, because I caught up to whatever was most recent at the time. Maybe like a little bit before it. But no, yeah, just a neurotic little freshman who's got a whole 5-part plan of not only how to graduate college and like get involved in politics, but then like how exactly she wants to die. Like, love that amount of just wanting to stick to shit, and it makes it prime for a story about letting people into your life that'll let you shake things up a little bit.
The positive rendition of the Manic Pixie Dream Girl type shows is what I've always gotten.
Yeah, because it's not even like she is doing anything particularly special. It's just that, like, I don't know, someone that isn't caught up in the bullshit of like the bullshit of any urban environment. I think is the way to describe it.
Yeah, sure.
Just allows itself to be something that, like, you know, maybe not as great about social cues, but then that just means that you're getting to cut through the bullshit a lot quicker than most would like to keep on about. It's like a less literal version of his name, Bunny Girl guy.
Sure, yeah. All right, then in a similar vein, character you want to fling to the sun. LV, who do you want to launch into space?
Oh my god, I mean, they're going there anyway. There's a lot of people in the Dr. Stone cast that just... that is hard to narrow down. I think the particular worst case example is, at least in the most recent arc, the recent season, which is New World Part 2. It's Jinro, who's the little pervert freak. Not the little guy. The little guy has not been seen in ages. I don't know what happened to the little guy. But he's the blonde haired one with his hair over his head, and most of the time he's just always being like a pervert freak. And they like make him do a lot of things that are just very straight, like just unhinged, and then he dies, and then they just decide to revive him. Anyway, the show is a mess. The show is a mess. Like, it's now like not even like a big stake that someone dies. If you break, you're probably fine. They can just glue you together, and they're like, let's get the revivification fluid, you're fine. Like, it's just insane. But I think he's particularly the worst because he just shows up way too much. They're like, we gotta give this guy redeeming qualities. Meanwhile, he's still constantly oogling the girls, and it's just like, come on. There's an insane sequence I'll go into later, I think, in terms of like insane moments.
Oh yeah, you mean Ginra's epic moment?
His hero's epic moments. Second would be the sailor guy, which is Ryushi Nanami, but like he kind of actually ends up having a purpose, but he's just like an asshole. I mean, a lot of the guys in the show are sadly just assholes. But yeah, he's part. Yeah, but Ginro is kind of the worst, I think, in the recent events of Dr. Stone, the anime. The manga has been done though.
How about you, John?
All right. So I felt like I had to shout out a show that we watched on assignment, and I'm sorry because Maverick literally just said that it was something positive for him, but yeah, I still hate the main character from Bunny Girl Senpai a lot.
You're our trouble.
That's fair.
But also, shout out to the fact that they made another season of In Another World with My Smartphone, and every single character in that fucking show is the worst thing in the world. And the main dude, like, man, I know The Hague is busy right now, but when they're done with what they're doing now, I think we should get the Smartphone 2 staff up next. Fuck me.
It really is, like, that's going too far, I think, for them. Like,
It
it's
really
like
is.
They could have left it as is, but they decided to go back for more.
10 years later!
10 years. What's going on?
Nothing good. How about you?
For me, it was the fucking teacher from 100 Girlfriends, where I think 100 Girlfriends is genuinely like a really great show, and then they have this fucking sexual harassment joke teacher who just looks horrible. The entire joke is that she's like ugly and sexually harassing people, and they did nothing with her. That's all she exists to do. It's very odd in a show that has a lot of smart humor, because it feels like a One Piece joke or something. Like a One Piece joke from like 1996, you know? Like, just some real old, shitty manga style humor that, like, does not fit, like, the sincerity that show has for the rest of it, even when it's being goofy. I've heard that she just disappears at some point in the manga. Thank you, God, because it's so awful. It's so bad. Even watching the opening, it's like you have to have it be ruined by this fucking lady showing up. Just an offensive caricature. I don't even know of what, but just bad. How about you, Maverick?
Oh, Jesus. Was it this year? Was there another Moshoku Tensei this year?
There sure was.
Yeah, throw that fucker into the sun.
I do
Him
think
and his broke dick.
he really does, like, I've heard things about that show that make it sound like interesting from like certain angles, but it's like I could never watch it because of that guy, and he's the hero. Like,
He's good because he's no longer fat and disgusting. As we all know, every person that is fat and a disgusting slob gets redeemed when they're able to work out. Now, mind you, I may be getting shredded, but I'm also understanding that that's my own personal growth.
it really is just like, yeah, that is such a problem in that genre specifically. Like when you look at Crunchyroll in general and you see like how many of them are like there's that fucking what's the
We're not
horrible...
on Blight yet, but
yeah, there's that fucking horrible one that's always on Crunchyroll's like new because they dub it in a new language every week. The fucking like the Fruit of Science or whatever, and it's like, oh, I became a hot guy and that makes it good. And it's just like, shut up.
I became a hot guy and didn't bother to fix anything else about me.
Yeah, exactly.
So that means that I'm good when I do the same actions. It's literally the fucking, looking good. Oh, you're sweet. Looking good. Human services?
Yeah.
Or hello, human resources?
Which is like, come on. Yeah. Ugh.
But yeah, Rudy, get that fucker out of here.
Genuinely get him out of here. I saw they had that coming up next season, and I was like, we'll never escape.
His dick continues to not work.
All right. Now we can get to some more fun categories, I suppose. How about this? How about biggest what the sweet hell moment of the year? Let's do that one. LV, what did you pick for this one?
So, again, we always kind of like, we sometimes borders between series and then like actual industry stuff. God, there's so many. I was thinking of series. I know in terms of industry stuff, there's one particular one, which I guess just to shout out now, the the further like outing of how bad the workplace conditions are at MAPPA is pretty bad. I don't know if we're now in 2024. I don't know like what's gonna come about that, but that's important to point out. That's pretty bad. Wow. I'm gonna go through my current top 3 immediately in my head. That girl who can't find her glasses promo. That's that's the
Yeah.
that's the most insane thing. That's on the bottom because it's not offensive. It's just insane. Number 2, top 10 epic Ginro moments. So they have a plot in the show where like to get the Ibarra, like to get the like fucked up bad guy. Who they know is like a sick, probably like a sick pervert who like wants to like marry young women, all that. They like decide to throw Ginro in there, making a joke being like, oh, he's kind of like feminine and all that. And so they have him cross-dress. And yeah, he just goes in there and like it somehow works. Again, it's like a weird, like, is this supposed to be funny? Is this supposed to, like, I don't know what's going on here. And then he gets brutally killed in that outfit. And it's like the most serious thing the series treats, and out of everything. And the dissonance is just so fucking weird. It's just like, what is going on? This is weird. This is like, like a clown gets killed or something. Like, am I supposed to, what's happening? What are you saying? But I think my top one is I finished Butareba, the story of a man who turned into a pig, and more than halfway through the series, which is this nonsensical isekai about like a fucking annoying, again, typical, as you criticized just several sentences ago, as you guys were saying, typical like, oh, self-deprecating otaku guy who gets reincarnated into a pig in a fantasy world. This girl finds them, etc. And she's some sort of magic class. The story's actually about slavery. There's a whole like insane like world thing where like the girl is like part of this like oppressed like mage class of people, and there's like this fucked up like body trafficking thing going on with them, and then the royal, it's like, what is like, it's really bad. Like, it's like, what do you mean this is what the show is about? Again, really weird. I don't know if it gets, like, in terms of, like, does it get better? Does this actually pay off? I don't know, but that's, like, what happens halfway through the series once you invest in it. And again, that's my choice, that I chose to invest in this series. That's an isekai about an annoying pig man. But that's what the plot of the show actually finally ends up revealing like 8 episodes, 7 episodes in, and it's too late. You're in it. You're in this disturbing dark plot about like trafficking. Bad, just really bad. Like, I don't get it. So that's kind of been like I feel like themes of like what have been blights through my experience of anime. It's just like, oh, this is like kind of bad at a glance, and then it just kind of gets worse. It's like, what's really weird, really weird. Don't watch that show.
I'll try not to.
I think you warned me, Rose.
Yeah.
You warned me about this. Like, it gets insane, and that's what happens.
How about you, John?
So, like I said earlier, mine is positive because when I first watched Migi and Dolly, I did not know what to expect. And that first episode, I think like the first like 2 or 3 episodes, I was just sitting there with my jaw on the floor. Shit is just goofy and insane, and I did not know what to expect. And like I think some people had said that it was going to be silly, but oh my god, it's so fucking nuts and so funny. And the whole time I was just like, what the fuck is going on, in like the best way, you know?
I'm right there with you, John, because I also put this here. I just said all of Miggy and Dolly. Even as someone who has seen Sakamoto, right? I was one who's saying like, oh, it's probably like Sakamoto, goofy thing. It's not even in the same realm as Sakamoto, really. It's like a new level of depravity, a new level of sickness. Fascinating show. I'm really, again, I keep saying it every time we talk about it. I am so sad that author is no longer with us, because their mind is one that truly needed to be studied and let free to create just endlessly, probably. How about you, Maverick?
Shit, I would put Miki and Dolly in there as well for like a good example of it.
Hell yes.
Did that dog anime come out this year?
Yeah.
Anime?
Yes.
Yeah, the one where it's like...
Yeah, not the one where it's
there
like
was
a
a
dog.
dog.
Oh, where you're the
The other one.
Yeah.
the
Oh.
one where they're the woman's dog, their crush's dog.
Yes.
Oh God, yeah, that was.
Oh
this
my
year.
God, I
Yeah.
forgot.
Oh my God.
No, I only know about the Wholesome Dog Walker one.
No. Wholesome Dog Walker was its own thing. 'Cause that's like...
Yeah.
It's just BL.
Oh, man.
Like, that's
Yeah.
fine.
No, yeah. Someone, yeah. They became their crush's dog.
And it's just like egregious.
I'm looking it up. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's an upskirt fetish, basically. Every shot of this.
It's multiple fetishes.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of them are acceptable. I don't.
Oh, definitely not.
Not at all.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. I mean, if you want to get into it, like, I feel like that's just every season we look at the damn chart and there is just a sickness, like 6-minute long show that exists like that. I don't know if that was
Yeah,
6 minutes. I don't actually
A very
know,
specific
but
fetish, yeah.
I'm always thinking of the most depraved of those, which is the one from, it was like 2-3 years ago. It was the what the hell are you doing here, teacher?
Oh god.
Right.
That
Yeah,
one, that fucking studio went on to do the fucking Lucifer and Biscuit Hammer adaptation that broke my heart. That is like, and it's just like, why did you get those people? Why did you get the people who's like, I found my teacher in the bathroom and now I'm seeing her boobs? It's like, what's going on out there? Sickness. Isekai takes all the brunt, rightfully so, but someone needs to stop these sickos. Should at least be an OVA. All right. Tightest shit. How about that tightest shit? LV, what do you think was the tightest shit?
Yeah, like again, my like mirror response is a bunch of stuff that does happen in Miki and Dolly, but in particular, trying to avoid spoilers, but like I guess like oh my god. I'm gonna say like, God, there's so many. Actually, now now I have to think about it. I think I have to think about it. Come back to me.
Okay, fair enough. John, how about you?
I said, I feel bad because some of these are just like the entire thing, but like. I was pretty much just going hell yeah motherfucker the entire time during the Fate Strange Fake OVA. I mean, but if I gotta pick a single moment, it's gotta be like the Gilgamesh and Enkidu fight. You know, like that whole thing is just incredible. But Fate Strange Fake was awesome, and I can't wait for the full series.
Hey, John, guess what? I'm right there with you. I also put Fate Strange Fake.
Yeah.
I was popping off this year. I didn't put it in any category because it ultimately wasn't that like surprising or anything. It would be the other thing, but like, you know, I like the Dead Mount Death play because that's a Durara Bakano person. Seeing Fate done by the Durara Bakano person was like, I had heard tell, but I was like, holy shit, let's fucking go after that OVA. Like, it's so exciting. All the servant ideas, there's that Jack the Ripper idea, like that's so good, so good. So excited to see how all the different visual language they'll go with, like especially for, like they have the fucking Pale Rider of Death as one of the servants. Like, it's gonna be great. How about you, Maverick?
God, that's a good question. Originally, I also put in like Migi and Dally shit, but then I'm thinking about it, like my runner-up, or not my runner-up, but like I figured, Birdie Wing Season 2 was out. A lot of Birdie Wing Season 2 was like some pretty tight shit. But honestly, I would give it to like Scott Pilgrim Takes Off.
Pretty good.
Just in general, like a lot of fun stuff. Like I can't choose just one. It's more just the fact that like anytime a fight sequence came through, it was like very well choreographed.
Yeah, I mean, me and Trixie watched that all in a day. We just burned through it all, I think, because we were just like, this is so good.
Oh yeah, and then
oh shit, I'm doing the Home Alone reaction right now. We forgot about Trixie because she sent me all of her.
We have all her. We can do all of
stuff.
hers as like at the end if you'd like. Just
okay. I mean,
boom, boom,
whatever
boom.
you want to do. I'm just saying. I was like,
and also shout out to Old Scott covering the Pat Labor opening. Koyo Hurricane.
God, right.
Was it Pat Labor or is it Bubblegum Crisis? Either way.
I think
it was Bubblegum. It was Bubblegum Crisis.
It was Bubblegum Crisis. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always mix those two in my mind, honestly, though. LV, have you come up with anything?
Yes. Okay. So Mi-chan the maid from Migi and Dolly's also on my best character like list in terms of top picks. When she fucking fights the evil mom, that's pretty iconic. I think that's great, and that kind of does set off the climax of everything that kind of ends up exploding even further towards the end of the series in a very grand way. And then she also returns, like it's like very sad. She's like a weirdly, unexpectedly good character. But yeah, that whole show is a series of insane shit in a positive way.
All right. Then let's see. What's a good one? What's another good one in line with this stuff? We did care, sweet hell, tight as shit. How about that? How about best surprise? As I mentioned it before. What did you find most surprising from this year, LV?
Oh yeah. I think I'm surprised the Masterful Cat did not turn out like the scary glasses.
Oh yeah, because Gohan's is the devil. Yeah.
It turned out to be a normal, like, low-key slice of life series, just about a young woman and her going about her life, and then her cute giant cat like who lives in her apartment, and it's like a sweet little thing. So it's something I actually would recommend. Yeah, they like did none of the weird experimental things in that series at all. So if you just want a cute, relaxing show, it's there. It's actually something I can recommend. There's also like I'll go into. I think that goes into like something that I think is overlooked, but that one was a surprise to me for sure.
All right, that's a good one. Because again, I was still surprised when you kept talking about it as it kept going on.
Like I'm still like,
I was like,
and it sounds normal. Yeah.
Same season, even like that was the crazy part to me.
Yeah,
it's
like,
did you put the Joker staff on that one so you could get away with making a normal one? Like
they're two different. Yeah, they seem
made it
like
in the corner.
very two different teams. Yeah. But then they had still like the same color palette and like digital, like like probably set up of tools and palette whatever to use. But then, yeah, they probably had two very different like animation directors or something. It's really weird. Putting the Joker color.
Yeah, that's just like what Big Brother's done with the computer, so like they can come over and use it now. How about you, John?
Which one am I on? I'm sorry, I was blowing my
Most
nose.
surprising.
Okay, thank you. Migi and Dolly again.
Certainly a surprise every week.
Yeah, I would also just want to give a shout out to 16-Bit Sensation, because I was not expecting a show just about like old eroge to be
Right.
this like fun little romp, and it's just a concept that I was not expecting them to make, and it's not expecting it to be as like loving and nice as it is. And I mean, I'm sure all the eroge heads are just like, you don't understand. We all are like this, and I'm pretty sure they are. Like every time that I see someone talking about like old eroge, they're just like, this is why this is the smartest story ever told, and everyone should try it. And that's just how it is. So I think they just showcase that kind of fandom and that the people that make it very well. And it was surprising that it was like this nice, cute anime that came out.
Yeah. I think especially with that one, I would have been surprised just that it's not, because I feel like whenever I think of a show with that description, I think when we were looking at the chart, I was like, oh god, is this going to be like that fucking Remake of Your Life anime where it's just like it just exists for the concept and has no interest in it? But that one really did have the interest in it.
Yeah.
Mine was Undead Murder Farce, because we read the description and I was like, that sounds cool, but then it really was like, holy shit, this is great.
I'll pipe in and say same.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, like did not hear anything about this until we looked at that seasonal chart. Genuinely. Like I hadn't heard of the books. I hadn't heard of like this production coming up. We had just recently watched Rakugo, I think, in the scheme of things.
Right.
And I was just like, damn, all right, this is awesome. And ended up being one of my favorite shows of the year.
And not only that, but to have something done at just like a consistent quality every single episode.
Yeah.
I think when we talked about it initially, like we were so like it became a point of like focus, but it's like it was just good television.
Yeah.
Which it was so. It feels like it's so rare nowadays in anime for it to be like made with the like vision of weekly serialized stories, or like an ongoing plot, of course, but like having the constraint of like your 23-minute block to be a full like period of engagement. It was just really well done.
You could tell that it was adapted from a novel because it didn't do the thing that everything does where it's like, well, we have to end at chapter 24 part, right? Like it was just such a nice...
It was very natural pausing in the action, or, a very deliberate cliffhanger to make you want to tune in next week.
Yeah. Good stuff. Ended up getting me on my kick of watching like Murder, She Wrote and shit. Also, so. All right. On the flip side, most disappointing. LV, what was disappointing to you? I feel like this could be anything with...
This could be anything.
And I think Rose and I also have this like the same answer for this.
Probably.
So this is like something I barely talked about, but there was an original anime called Giant Beast of Arse. That's right, Giant Beast of Ass.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And it came around like early of the year, so that's why a lot of people forgot about it. But people forgot about it because it just doesn't. It just didn't help. So there's a lot of ideas going on in it. I felt like going in. I guess my best way to describe it in broad strokes is that, there's a lot of the good parts of like Attack on Titan before you realized, oh my god, this is a Nazi sympathizer made this, and then all the fun parts of Monster Hunter. There's like a lot of things going on here that seems very interesting, and they don't explain anything. This is 12 episodes. This should have been 24 episodes. And it wasn't. It like starts off as kind of like a Monster Hunter episodic thing, like, this guy and this girl who, like, he does, like, a magical girl transformation sequence. It's awesome. I think that's the best part of the show. He has a magical transformation sequence with a sword, and she basically, like, powers him. It's, again, kind of like how Tact Op was. Like, there is just, like, a girl that is, like, your secondary... This is a whole genre of anime, right? There's, like, a girl that's, like, your secondary weapon or something, or powers you, right? And is, like, linked to you in some way. And they're just going to village by village, like... they're outcasts. Like he's like wanted by the royal military or whatever because he like abandoned his post, and she's running away from something, and they go through episode by episode going through different communities, like, and it's a very interesting world. There's like anthropomorphic animal people, there's cat people. It feels very Final Fantasy in a way also, right? Solving problems, and then suddenly it shifts to like a weird plot where like she's like a clone, and they find other girls like her, and it's like a whole like conspiracy where the royal like a court or something is like they wanted to like unlock this secret power. I don't know. There was like too much. They just decided to throw on at the end and don't really answer anything. They don't explain a lot of things, and it's just a bummer because like visually too, it's actually very good. Like production is very good, but like it sets up all this world, and there's like no good payoff at the end. And I feel like if it was longer, it would have been fine, I think. And that's like a recurring problem I noticed too with a lot of other original anime, like right in the last couple of years. Like Fina the Pirate Princess is the one that still stays with me. I'm still bitter about. Like it was 12 episodes. This could have been a kick-ass thing. I probably would have watched like every week, like on Adult Swim or something, but it was only 12 episodes, and I'm blaming that as being kind of like the writing issue, I think. I don't know. And there's no tie-in to Giant Beast. There's no, as far as I know, there's no tie-in, there's no mobile game thing like what happened with Tact Op, where it's like, see you in the sequel in the mobile game Gotchap. Giant Beast of Arts has none of that, so I don't know. Like they also did have like a weird cold ending implying there'll be more in the future, like, but then I don't think that's gonna happen. I have no faith that that's gonna happen. So yeah, there's that.
Original anime stings the hardest.
Original anime in the modern day.
How about you, John?
Witch from Mercury.
Hey, Maverick.
Yeah?
What's your choice for most disappointing?
Oh, that's gotta be Mobile Suit Gundam, The Witch from Mercury.
That's crazy, because I also put Mobile Suit Gundam, The Witch from Mercury.
Let's go. Obviously, we all hate lesbians.
Yeah.
John, how about you? You were going first. What do you have to say about this?
It was just one of those things where, like, I was initially a little cold on it, and then I started to get back into it, and then I stopped watching anime for a bit, like I keep doing, and then it ended, and everyone just kind of went like, wait, that was it? And so I just kind of sat there and was just like, I both dodged a bullet and also put a lot of, like, I already put, like, I watched the whole first season. And I was like, oh man, I can't wait to finish it up. I'll get around to the second season eventually. I think I watched the first episode of the second season. I was like, I'm ready to go. And then they just don't do anything with, like, any of the plot points that they introduce, basically, except for, like, a small handful of them. Mm-hmm. And it just feels like it was a show that should have gone on for longer, and they just wrapped it up very quickly, and I don't know, that sucks. I still bought an aerial Gunpla, so I'm part of the problem,
Still
I
good
guess.
Design.
But yeah.
I mean, I think for me, it is that ultimately of just like those Gundam shows are always longer than that. Like literally always when it's like a big mainline Gundam, and it just felt like, especially with like, I know these are different teams probably ultimately, but like knowing that they're doing a fucking Seed movie right now is like,
It's
yeah,
out.
we really had a great,
It's gonna get distributed later this year.
awesome. We really needed to wrap things up to open up the wall. It's just like, I don't know what they were thinking with this. It really did feel like there's a lot of cases in my Sentai shows, Kamen Rider, etc., where you can tell like the script was like really hurt by like not knowing when they could do X or Y or how much time they had, and this is like the ultimate example of that. It like the season 1 ending, like super strong ending to season 1. You get excited when it comes back. It takes that season off and then it comes back, and they just start over like from season 1 basically, and instead of like perpetuating that pacing that they had gotten to, it just makes all the characters seem insane. What was their goal at any point? What was going on? Like I always think of how funny the clone boy is like the funniest guy in that show, and then it's like, what happens with him? Nothing matters. Like, it's really disappointing that, like, a production that was genuinely good, like, production-wise, like, good soundtrack, good visuals, seemingly a good schedule for the people involved, like, at least work-wise, just fell apart. Like, just... You'd hope that the first women's Gundam would have a little more swag, I guess, for lack of a better word.
I mean, I'm not going to call Tomino a perfect man.
I hope not.
By no means am I going to call him perfect. However, but he knows how to make a series. He knows how to make a long-form series that has a central theme in mind. Up to this point, I finished 0079. Because I also know, I'm aware that this fucking point of argument is out there in the zeitgeist right now because the Seed, oh, Gundam's too hard, I don't understand how to get into Mobile Suit Gundam, I'm not too sure how to go. 0079. Oh, but it's too old. Shut the fuck up. You watch Columbo. You specifically, whoever is listening to this podcast, I know you've watched Columbo. I know you dabble into old film. You can dabble into old anime. It'll be fine. It is 50 episodes, and that's perfectly fine. You do not need to binge it. Take your time with it. Because what it is a perfectly fantastic television show that weekly will give you drama, comedy, dated, understandings of what gender is like. I'm not going to excuse that, but that all comes into service of the general narrative. I've watched Zeta Gundam. That definitely has moments that are difficult when it comes to its pacing. It definitely doubles down on its views about women in the armed services and just, the general tone that it has in regard to its characters. I still think it's a better show because of the fact that it takes some swings that are incredible. I've never seen a TV show end the way that it does, which I think is serviced by the fact that they do go immediately into Double Zeta. And I'm partway through that, and that's been fun for its own way. I think because of the fact that they pivot more into a focus on a just younger audience. But what that means is that you have a lively cast, a lot more weekly adventure, or more serialized stories. And that gives space for the actual world to breathe, which is also important. Which from Mercury doesn't really have that. And it's the fact that you expected a 50 episode series, or at the very least 40 episodes. Didn't get that. we only have like 24 episodes. In those 24 episodes, they have to reconcile geopolitical bargaining, this will they or won't they relationship between Mirin and Suletta, also having to deal with the feelings of other characters, like, what's his name?
Exactly.
That's what it gets to,
And
isn't
that's
it?
what it... Like, I wasn't worried that Suletta and Mirin weren't going to get together. I never doubted that. Because, like, almost every Gundam show, when they have that core, still focuses on keeping that core in some, relative fashion together. Or will do something to, like, play around with that. Like, the thing...
The trepidation around that stuff was very baffling to me, because it's like, that's the type of take you have in like 2015, not so much like these days. Like, I feel like every show that has had a lesbian couple just ends with the lesbian couple these days.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or, you do something that's much more like, what was I going to say? No, you do the thing that's even more like, forward trending a la 100 Girlfriends, and you just have the three of them figure some weird relationship out because the three of them do make sense as a unit. That's the part that, like, again, like, I know that there's shades of Utena, there's shades of like all these other shows, and granted, that's source material I still need to like get to. End of the day, this is still Gundam. And not to say that there's like a specific formula, but the things that excel focus more so on very particular points. One of which also includes, and this is borrowed particularly from Tomino's work, but people fight wars for reasons. And those reasons, rather than being specifically right or wrong, are strong enough to be justified for the war. Like, that's what makes the Zeon faction so interesting. Not only is it this idea of, a right to sovereignty in space, it's the fact that it's a right to sovereignty in space that is co-opted by a family that wants absolute power and is willing to do anything to gain that power, even though they know they're fully, like, in service or, like, on the similar league as prior fascists. It's organizations that were once aligned on like a good side, quote unquote, taking their newfound power and pushing it to extreme lengths because of the fact that they just have the hegemony to do so. That's compelling. That's interesting. That leads to layered characters. If you want to see another example, like Gundam Wing. People of Gundam Wing to hell and back, the Gundam boys, they do everything. I rewatched Gundam Wing like a couple years back, and like, one, those boys barely interact. Like, the ratio of promo material featuring that core four to the amount of times they actually like see each other from beginning to end is disastrously maligned. But also, it's trying to, like, hit this narrative of, like, peace and pacifism as a means to stopping violence, and it just never grapples with the idea that, like, there are things that are worth fighting for. There is violence that can be justified because of the fact that it's against an oppressor, or that it's against a imposing force. And it never wants to like struggle with that, and it just leads to a very messy point of conflict. I think G-Witch has a similar issue where it never knows where to directly point the fingers, even though like there are comically evil people in this show. But then it also never wants to pull the trigger on like how exactly to leave a lasting effect. Like, oh god, the point at the end, near the end, where Guel, that's his name. Like, Guel was stranded on Earth after killing his dad. Doesn't really know how to like do anything. Is essentially trying to like get himself up from his bootstraps to like take hold of the company again. Beats Soletta in a duel to be able to like be Mirene's fiance or whatever. Loses that again when Soletta has to go be on her bad bitch mode, and then Guel is like fighting in the middle of something, ends up trying to fight his brother, and there's this moment where you expect there to be a sacrifice, you know, of, oh, because of the fact that like this happened to me, it'll be maligned with you, or yada yada yada. Guel's ready to die. One of his groupies like hits him with the not die spray, and she's like, how stupid can you be? And that can be read as like, oh, thank God this woman was here to stop the violence between two brothers from having to like, you know, sadden everybody. That's one way to see it. But also, tragedy is an inherent point of storytelling at points. It can be indulgent. That's fine. Like, it... I feel like at points this show is just too scared to actually like make a conflicting choice, that it, like, anything that does stick just feels so there. And I want to be mindful about how I'm actually making that critique, because it could be read as, oh, why doesn't anybody die? There are plenty of people that die. I don't remember their names, but they definitely do die. But it's like...
They set up a world that's much bigger than what they end up with, and it just felt like more like... Again, I don't know if it's scheduling or what happens to it, but you just end up with this feeling of like... What did this possibly look like at any stage of development?
What exactly are
like,
the people...
What was Shadiq? What was he going to do? What was the clone stuff going to lead to? What was that actually going to be like meaningful? Like, I know it has to do with like a little bit with like some stuff, but it's like not really. Like, you don't need all of that effort to explain that. Like, what was the stuff about like the health company? Like, yeah.
What exactly does that look like? Why are people on Earth mad about people on space? Where is that?
What is the government actually like, really? Like,
what is the government actually like? Because that's the thing about, again, to point it back to like OG 0079, like, the Earth Federation is a specific sector of Earth. It is not the entirety of Earth's governments coming together as one. There are people who fucking hate the Federation and live on Earth. There are people who are tired of the Xeon family, the Zombie family, who live up in the colonies. That happens. Just because you live somewhere does not mean you immediately endorse the politics of the ruling class. But, you know, like, we never know what the conditions are like on Mercury, what exactly the actual, like, interplay is between other planets as well. Because, like, yeah, you can just do, like, earthy and spacey and shit, but then it's like, okay, if you're wanting to be nitty-gritty about other planets, what exactly, like, is the tension there, if there is anything? What's the... You want to do this witch hunt, what exactly is that going to look like? There's just so many missing pieces, and I don't know, it makes it hard to really, like, endorse this one. I'm sure it's better than a lot of other, like, that's the thing too, like, it's so much, it's gonna be better than Seed, regardless.
It's just a case of, I really do think, like, what really hurts it more than anything is it had so much promise. Like I was saying, like, the production quality is so much higher than the average Gundam one from the post-2000 era, I would say, really. Like, and it seemed like they were, like, moving in a cool direction, and then it's just, like, your standards are so much higher then, also.
Yeah.
It just really hurts. Who knows? Maybe they make a fun movie in 10 years.
That would be nice.
We did get a submission for disappointing, but it's not really for a series. It's just kind of like a commentary
just a
on
statement.
something. Yeah, it's just a statement. From Kuma's Bear. I was shocked when I learned the 16-bit Sensation OP was performed by the same vocalist that did Gurren Lagann's OP, because it was so weak, capital letters, like she didn't even sound the same.
That's understandable.
Yeah, I was going to ask your take on that, John, since you had watched it.
I mean, the music wasn't really what like grabbed me.
Yeah, that's not the
that.
crux. That is crazy that they got her for that, though, because I have seen her, perform the Lagann song. She goes crazy for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Overlooked. How about this? Overlooked. LV, what do you think was overlooked in 2023?
People need to watch Helk. Oh my god, Helk is actually very good.
I need to get back to
very
Helk.
fun. Yeah, we can go back to Helk is very. I feel like I think we're hitting the nail about like finally just hitting some nice fantasy stuff that isn't like isekai and all that and this is not even really bad. I don't know. It just feels like a nice like this is. I would watch this as a Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah.
Like it's just a nice fun little fantasy comedy thing that is pretty inoffensive, and it's like, and somehow they gave it 20 plus episodes. Like I don't know why other series are not like it's. I don't know who's making the decisions over why some series are getting these like chunks that others aren't. Again, back to my complaint about Beast of Ars. But I just recommend Helk. People need to try it, especially if you're burnt out on the isekai
for real
issue.
It does have a real Saturday morning cartoon vibe. It really, really does. That is a good way to put it.
Yeah. In contrast to something that's more serious, like my daughter left the nest and returned. I think it's a very sweet series, in terms of another fantasy series that isn't isekai.
Yeah.
Like just a very nice slice of life series about just girls hanging out.
We need so much of
in
that
the fantasy
in
world.
society.
Yeah.
How about you, John?
Just talked about it a minute ago, but 16-bit Sensation. I think more people should check it out, even if they're not like interested in the concept per se. I just think that it's a wonderful look into a new world. I would say, like, you're just like, wow. I would have never known that people give this much of a shit about this genre, and it's refreshing, like a good one of these good story about a genre or a group of people who are into something. It's relatable not just because of the thing itself, but just the passion. You think about great stories of like I think about like documentaries following like people who are passionate about something. Like this is fucking insane that I'm comparing 16-bit Sensation to this, but like watching Pumping Iron and just hearing like Arnold Schwarzenegger talking about like how important lifting weights and bodybuilding is to him. Like, you don't actually have to care about the bodybuilding. It's just the fact that it's like a well-made film about that, about his feelings on bodybuilding. And then
When I play the air gay, it's like I'm coming.
It is, exactly. No, that's coming at work and coming at home. No, yeah. But seriously, it's just it's good to get a glimpse into other people's lives, like learn about what other people think and experience it in different ways. That is what I think everyone should do.
You really can tell when someone cares, and it makes all the difference.
Yeah.
So I put this one just because we were talking about original anime a little bit, the disappointment. But I really think High Card has been overlooked by the Bungo Stray Dogs fans who would eat it up. Is what I've been thinking as I'm almost on season 1 now. Specifically, it's like this is a show that, like, you know, it's just well made. I think I remember when Maverick was watching it and got a little bit ahead of me. There was this sort of like trepidation with regards to it being like we didn't know it would have a season 2, so it just sort of felt like this is weird pacing. But I feel like knowing it has a season 2 now, it's a little more interesting. I just think it's a fun little weekly series, similar to the Hulk thing of, like, you know, Saturday morning cartoon. Like, it's just it captures the vibe of Spy Family without being too saccharine with it, and it is more interested in, like, advancing the plot, but it is still, like, ultimately, like, a week by week, here's what the crew's getting up to show, and I really like that about it. And I'm surprised that I'm just mainly surprised that I haven't seen anyone else talk about it outside of us. Because it has... well, I guess it doesn't have an English dub, so that could be a factor to an extent, but... yeah. How about you, Mav?
I gotta say, Bang Dream, It's My Go, kind of overlooked.
You think so? I guess that's true, only because, like, I feel like everyone who started watching it is watching it now, like, months after the fact.
The people who would be clued in, like, are, like, gotcha people, but... The fact that, like, I can look at this and be like, oh no, this is just a good show. You know, that's the point that I sort of, like, would focus on, where I don't care if you, like, didn't watch Bang Dream or whatever, or you don't follow the stuff. If you want, like, solid melodrama about the most unhinged group of, like, girl likers that are trying to start a band together, this is your show. It's just, what if people who absolutely hate one another had to get together because you all have the same girlfriend? And from that, you just get very good, like, high stakes drama. You get really good songs out of it. Just everything gels together in a way that is really fun. It's a shame, though, that the last episode is kind of just like, all right, time to focus on another band.
Yeah.
Because I don't care about that other band.
It is just such a weird thing with that format of, like, I've always felt that way about, like, the Idol Masters, where it's like people will enjoy, like, one of the Idol Master shows and then it'll be like, all right, well, too bad, next up is Cinderella Girls or something, like, you know, like our, like, Tiny Crew one that was this year.
Yeah.
More reasons why we need to destroy Gotcha in general. So then I guess similar vein, I guess, quickest or on the back burner. How about that? Let's do on the back burner. LV,
Yeah,
what's
sure.
on your back burner? I know you said a lot, but
I forgot Star Wars. The second season of Star Wars Visions did come out last year. I've been meaning to watch that.
oh right.
That fucking firefighter show. Like,
Oh yeah, Daigo. That's like
What's
getting
going
huge
on?
in Japan right now because it's like
it's
very
going off for some
nostalgic.
reason. I don't know. And then there's like a couple more. What's under order? There's Ippon again, which is the it's the what are they doing there? It's the judo girls. It's like a girls in a judo club, and there was like an anime about it. I'm just curious about that. So yeah. So it's a handful of stuff, but those are kind of the top three. Honestly, I would say the Star Wars Visions is like a priority. I just really want to see who took part in that this time and what cool stuff they did. So
I muted myself. I also actually wanted to check that out because I have heard really good things about it. Ippon again, that is.
Okay, yeah.
How about you, John?
Everything. I have been watching less and less anime as time has gone on, and it is a problem. Legitimately, I do want to watch a bunch of stuff. If I'm just looking at my currently watching thing on here, I'm super behind on Pokemon. I haven't finished a lot of stuff. I'm depressing myself thinking about this. I need to watch stuff more. I really do, and I'm gonna figure it out. But yeah, just fucking everything.
I definitely feel that as someone who just cleaned out their Annie list yesterday of my currently watching was up to like 23 shows or something, and I had to be like, okay, well, let's be realistic here. But it's kind of in a vein of what Elvie was saying. I put Helk here because we got to like I would say like episode 6 or 7 of Helk. Mm-hmm. And it was when, like, I think, like, the main story had really started kicking off to an extent.
Oh, yeah.
And we had this unfortunate thing of, like, the first few episodes are, like, really just, like, you know, comedy focused and very, like, jokes. And, like, then we had, like, a 3-episode stint where, like, a random person would join the voice call while me and my girlfriends were watching it. And not, like, a random person, you know, like, someone, like, Spencer would join, for example, or something. And then we'd be like, oh, well, this is a really funny show. And it would be, like, a serious episode. Like about the story, and we'd be like, "Oh, well, you know," like so. We ended up like getting pushed. Yeah, and it happened like 3 times in a row, and we were just like, "Oh, find something else." But I do want to get back to it because it just seems fun. It was fun, and I was enjoying it. I liked the character designs. Helk is truly abhorrent to look at, which really helps the vibes, I think. But yeah, I would love to get back to that. How about you, Maverick?
Also everything, but more specifically, there are 3 episodes of Zom 100 that I know I can just knock out if I just need to do that. There is the entirety of my fall, like, watch lineup. I just stopped in December and never picked it back up. And so that's 100 Girlfriends, Bullbuster, Overtaken, 60-Bit Sensation, Miggy and Dolly, Freerin. All stuff I do want to finish because it was, like, good. I just need to find time to do that. Back in the spring, I skipped over Level 99 Yamada-kun. And then I had an episode of Insomniacs after school finished, but I wanted to catch, like, the rest of it. Those are at least 2 that I wanted to, like, actually also finish up. And I guess Trigun. I could stand.
Trigun's pretty easy to watch, you know? Like, it's there was only 12 episodes, right?
Yeah, but again, it's like, I don't know. There's always something about, like, my immediate interest.
Understandable.
Yeah, but that's all the ones that are out there.
Mm-hmm. I need to, you reminded me that I do need to finish my, because you were saying the Zom 100, I need to finish my little Misfit of Demon Academy show, because that got COVIDed like Zom did to finishing later, I think only recently. All right, how about Quickest Drop? This is for, you know, an anime that we just couldn't do it. And just like we're like, all right, I'm gone. LV, what did you get rid of from your life and save your soul from?
Bullbuster. I don't know what it's trying to do.
When did you stop watching Bullbuster?
I think I stopped watching like 4 episodes.
Okay.
And I'm just like, I don't know what they're doing here. I could not get into it. I'm not sure what they're saying about labor. I'm not sure what they're saying about these robots. I don't know what's going on here. It did, yeah. I guess, and I guess also too. Unfortunately, the characters that I like from afar, it's very much like this is just a show about the workplace, right? And that's fine. But I don't know, just something about it feels like, to me, that I don't know, the unique thing they have going, they're just not utilizing that. I didn't sense where the trajectory was gonna go, you know. And there's an anime I just never touched and got sad when we read the description when we were reading anime charts, which is a girl and her guard dog. And it's a girl and a Yakuza boy protecting her. but she's only 16 and he's almost 30. I never touched that, so I don't know if that counts. But that's worth mentioning. That was another one that existed last year. So yeah.
How far did you get into that one, Maverick? I was curious because I stopped watching like episode 5 or 6 just because I got busy with something.
Yeah, like about 5 or 6. They brought the intern in.
Okay.
And that was like about it. Where, like, again, a very funny back and forth of like, yeah, dude, I'm hired to be on my 9 to 5. I'm not going to like overextend those hours. To, but the sanctity of what the people need. I'm curious what it wants to say by the end, because it definitely is a case where it's like both arguments hold truth for the most part. Like, at no point is it ever like me feeling like one side is inherently like incorrect about something. But also, you know, how do they exactly how exactly do they like resolve those conflicts in a way that isn't just sometimes you got to be the hero.
Yeah, I was curious about. I wanted to finish it when I was cleaning out my list, which is why I did not remove it from my currently watching. Just because I did like a blend of the things, but I do understand where you're coming from, LV. Of like it is really hard to tell like what the focus is going to be in those first 4 episodes, especially of like, are we going to focus on the business aspect? Are we actually going to like care about these monsters or like thing? Yeah. Is it just going to be a character focused work? Is it a more broader thing? Yeah. How about you, John? What did you throw out of the park?
Magical destroyers.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Y'all remember that shit?
I
Watched watched that first episode, thought it looked really cool. Second episode, I was like, okay, I don't... And then I just kind of didn't bother after that.
Yeah. I think I said it on Twitter the other day, but most undeserved opening of all time, maybe. They put so much effort into that opening song.
Yeah. It's a banger.
So I put Beaufory Season 2, which was the MMO one where it's like she maxed out her defense or whatever. The first season wasn't a banger or anything, but it was cute. It was fun. It was one of those, girls hang out. Like, it sold itself as a VR MMO show, but it was really just like a slice of life in an MMO show. And I thought it was like pretty fun about that, because it was just sort of like capturing a lot of the good vibes from an MMO. You could tell they at least had played them. The second season was like, 4 years after the first one it's come out? Straight up no recap, just starting like in the middle of an arc. Just going, and I was just like, this is indecipherable. This is really boring because they're focusing on like actual game mechanics instead of like the characters hanging out, and they're not very good at the game mechanics thing. I was just like, you know what? I'm not gonna do this one. So I just did not. And I heard from other people like, yeah, I think it's a completely different team handled it, and they did not know what they were doing. So it was just indecipherable. How about you, Maverick?
I don't know, Orchestra.
Oh, right.
Oh, wow, yeah.
I gave it like 2 episodes, and I'm like, that's fine. Nothing particularly bad. Like, I have no idea whether or not it like ended bad or whatever. I'm just like, I don't have the time for like this story again, because I feel like I give one of these a shot every year, and it's kind of just like none of them are really hitting right now.
Well, at least you got MyGo.
Yeah, well, I mean, MyGo's a whole different deal.
I guess so, yeah.
And I already got my... I remember at some point gave my criticisms about MyGo.
Alright, how about most baffling anime? LV, what was the most baffling to you? I know you every year I feel like you journey into the wastes of confusion.
It is Buta Reba.
Yeah.
Insane just insane. What just insane.
I had heard this before it came
dark
out.
turn it goes.
What a program.
What a program.
John, what about you?
They made another fucking season of smartphone anime 10 years later!
It really is baffling. Like, why? Why did they do that? Who were the fans? I've never seen...
Who was asking for this?
Like,
Who
that's all I could
watched
think when
this?
you were watching it. Is I was like, I have never seen, like... I know a lot of people on Twitter who watch bad anime, okay? Like, I know a lot of people who will, like, post, like, you know, your favorite... what is it? Obscure waifus or whatever? Mm-hmm.
Very great. Very good Twitter /
Lesser
Tumblr
known.
account. Yeah, lesser known
lesser
waifus. None of those girls are getting
I've
posted on
never
that
even
shit.
seen them, yeah. I was going to say, like, I've never seen any of these women anywhere. It's crazy.
Because they're nothing. There's nothing about them that's interesting. They're literally just like the most basic fucking like trope characters. It's just like this is the mage, this is the samurai, this is you know what? I did type in another word with my smartphone on Google, and under the characters tab there is just like a like an inflation fetish image of one of the girls. So I guess there's an answer for you there.
Great.
I guess. Dog shit fucking show. Like, just what was going on? What were they trying to do? Why did they do it? There's a heroes wiki page for one of the girls here I'm seeing. Someone filled this out. I don't fucking know. What the fuck is... There's all the girls. We love to talk about them. Light novel, web novel, manga. What the fuck are they doing? What is going on?
I would say who's bankrolling this, but I'm almost certain that it's just like it probably was one of those light novels that had like really good art that everyone loved or something. So then people just bought it for the art, because I know that happens a lot.
There's like gotta just be like some number must have just flipped over, you know? Like there must have just been like, yep. The light novels are still going. There are 29 volumes of the light novel.
I mean, he can just crank them out, right? He doesn't have to think about it.
I wish these motherfuckers would crank it out instead of writing this shit. We don't need it. They got a different fucking studio to make the second series. It was fucking Production Reed, and then JC Staff did season 2.
JC Staff will do anything.
I wish they wouldn't. I wish they fucking wouldn't. Oh my god, there's so... It's... Man, like... I want to argue with people that are like, man... Anime is so gross, like it flirts with pedophilic shit, and I want to be like, no, there's so much good stuff. But if someone just came up to me and like, yeah, but how about smartphone anime? I'd be like, all right, you're right. What's that like little B tweet where he's like the nerd went outside and became homeless? Like that's what would happen to me. Like I'd just be like, all right, my life's over. See you later. That's it. Goodbye. Because I don't have a fucking argument, because that show is so gross and stupid and shitty. Like, he has to grab the girl's boob to, like, activate the fucking, like, area when he goes into, like, a new laboratory because he needs to, like, clone items to bring technology to people. They're just like, you have to grab my tit to activate this to become the owner. And every time, he's like, he's like, making, like, Courage the Cowardly Dog noises. And I'm just like, dude... You've literally done this with like 17. Like when does it get old? You know, like you know, people are always like, oh, how do you not get sick and tired of seeing your wife naked or whatever? And it's like you never get tired of seeing the sunset. At some point, like at the very least, like that aspect of it's gotta fucking wear off, man. Like if my partner was coming up to me every single fucking day and being like. It's like just at saying the exact same shit. I'd be like, we gotta talk. We gotta figure something out. Are you okay?
On a similar note, I guess this is in another realm, sort of, but mine was Magical Destroyers, just because it's like kind of feeds into that of it's just like I don't know what your point is. Like, actually,
That first episode was like stylish, but then once you like went past, like, okay, that first episode would have been cool as like it reminded me a lot of like Me and stuff like that, where it's just like this is like a cool like artistic thing, but then if you try to like go past that, like if they were like, we're gonna make an anime about what happens to the guy in Me and like, you know, all how he has to go through the trials and tribulations of the sexy anime woman trying to kill him or whatever, it's like this is a cool single episode. Like, the fact that they tried to go on further with it and then didn't really have a concept and were just like, the otaku are oppressed. It's like, you know, at some point I kind of wish they were.
Yeah, like, I didn't have a most baffling. I would probably put it to that. It feels weird in a post-Project Moon situation. Or not Project Moon, in a post, like, Limbus company. What's that company?
No, you were right.
Oh, Project Moon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, like, a post, you know, Project Moon hyper-misogyny kneeling moment.
There's just been, like, so many of those this year in general, right? Like, that they weren't even the first one. They were just, like, the most known one, and it just kept happening.
It's like you can't do a show about the oppression of subculture when that specific subculture is so still heavily influenced by its most like ravenous and hateful parts. I think it would have been a better show if Otaku Hero was like, oh, this sucks. I have to kill you all now.
It really is just crazy that there's this, like, I feel like we are stuck in this era where people are like, there is this obvious pushback against the Puritanism that we're seeing, but that, like, happens in every generation, right? But, like, right now specifically, real strong push against Puritanism's discourse of sex scenes, etc. And then it's just like, okay, but, like, these guys are, like, scary. Like, these guys are, like, actually a problem.
It's the
something should be done about it.
It's the very unfortunate case of, like, you know, having to argue against a general censorship because of the fact that you're giving leverage to, at the very least, the existence of, like, particular work.
Yeah.
But then that just means, like, oh, you know, it can exist, but you don't have to engage with it. And that's the level of nuance that ultimately, like, you know, something like Magical Destroyers, I think, wants to engage with, but then doesn't really know how to get there. Because then part of it, too, is like, oh, you know, we're focusing on very old examples of subculture to an extent, but then there's this whole focus on Otaku Hero and the three girls and what exactly those three girls are, if I remember right. I don't know, it just, like...
It just doesn't dissect the line between consumerism and, like, fandom at all in a way that it should. Like, it's just very, like, no, they're the same thing. It's fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Just nothing of substance.
Exactly. Which is insane because production-wise, great production. Like, looks great. Really great music.
OST
great
was really
everything.
good, too.
Like, fuck.
Really good soundtrack.
I think King Records will continue to make insanely cool-looking anime, I guess. What was your take, though, Maverick? What was your baffling?
Oh, I didn't have one. That's why I, like, went in on
I appreciate you helping me. No, thank you.
Because, like, I don't know. There's never, like, not one specifically that made me go, like, what the hell? But that at least reminded me.
Yeah.
And then also, why is there a second season of Smartphone?
Because God is dead is why. It's greatest proof we've ever had.
Damn.
So I'm gonna do how about I'll do best, worst, then best for our last three categories.
Sure.
Best assigned show. which is the shows that we watched for this here podcast. LV, what was your favorite
Yeah.
of our assigned shows?
I would say Hidamari Sketch.
That's a good one.
And I think Tokyo Godfathers is just an excellent film, so.
It was a fun one. How about you, John?
My favorite was The Woman Called Fujiko Mine. I was very happy to have watched it with you all. I love
a good
Lupin the
show.
Third, and it's a very good Lupin the Third thing. So I'm glad that we all watched it together. It's nice. I love Lupin the Third. I love Fujiko. I love all their friends.
It's a good one. I almost put Boogie Pop here, but that felt like a gimme because I picked it, for God's sake. So I was like,
say
no, I'm not
that.
doing that shit. So I picked Helsing because I was glad to finally have that context.
Me too.
Of it.
That's
I
definitely that was
genuinely-
my second place. Absolutely.
Yeah, I genuinely had no... Wait, okay, let me ask you, did we watch Fooly Cooly last year? Like, I mean,
sequels?
2022, when I say that. Was that 2022?
The sequels, yeah. I think so, yeah.
Because that was my,
last
like,
year.
second option, was, like, I was grateful to watch those, even if I didn't really like them. Just because I liked our conversations around them a lot. But that wasn't so. Yeah, Helsing. Like I said, just I did not know anything. I had somehow avoided seeing basically anything about this, just seeing Alucard on YouTube for like 20 years. But it was neat to finally check that out. How about you, Maverick?
Fujiko Mine, easy. Like,
It's a great show.
really good show, up and down the block. Was also glad to at least have a chance to rewatch A Place Further Than the Universe.
Yeah, I forgot we started the year off with that. Yeah.
I was curious whether or not that did make the mark, but yeah, it was an old favorite. Glad to rewatch it. Rest in peace, Pomu Rainpuff. You were the realest one to do it. God damn it!
Okay, then I guess we will now do worst anime of the year, which, take no pleasure in this. Worst blight on the year is what we call it. And blight is usually, I think, a really good word for these, because I think more than any it happens in games. We always have our games that we go like, God damn, this piece of shit should not exist. But like anime specifically, I feel like you just get such a evil object that could only be referred to as a blight. LV, what do you think the worst blight on the year is?
I don't even have a list for this. I feel like I didn't consume bad
That's
anime,
great.
except for this.
I'm happy to hear that.
Like it's more like things were mid, and that's okay. And like, okay, this didn't impress me. Like, there's tons of anime I never mentioned in this whole
Sure.
like deliberation at all, because they were fine, but they weren't excellent enough to be in any of these categories. But Doctor Stone was somehow
yeah.
was real. It's just getting worse. It's just bad. I don't know worse. I think it's just bad. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough here. And in a way, I'm thankful, because that's like the worst thing. That's honestly the worst thing I think I've watched all the way through. I can't think of anything that will ever supersede my experience from the previous year, which was Platinum End. And all that other stuff. Yeah, so like Dr. Stone being bad is somehow like not that bad. But still bad. But yeah, nothing takes the cake of like previous years.
Yeah, previous
where
years.
it's like,
Oh,
ooh.
boy.
Yeah.
John, what was it? I have a feeling I can guess.
He gets married to like a 9-year-old.
Damn, what are we talking about?
He doesn't even use the fucking phone anymore.
What else can be said about Smartphone Season 2? Realistically, I will let that serve its purpose. Explain it all. Mine was Sugar Apple Fairy Tale, if you remember this one.
Oh yeah.
I was low-key excited to a degree because I think
it's like
fairies can be fun. You know, fairies can be fun in fiction. I love shoujo.
Yeah.
But yeah, goddamn, they were really like, the same season Vinland Saga is airing. They were like, I think our shoujo can do a great slavery narrative. They can't. It was really
we can
bad.
Totally do it well.
The way it is played completely straight, the way that they like just like barely like actually examine anything, the way that the fucking fairy is just a normal man. Like there are fairies in that world that are tiny, that are going around and wearing their stupid little hats and shit, and then this is just a man. It's just a human man. Boring. It'd be more interesting if it was like a tiny ass fairy, honestly. That required I hate it. I hate the episode. I was like, see, I normally wouldn't be like this aggressive about it because I was just like, I watched episode 1 and I was like, that's pretty bad. But then like later I was like, you know, what's Sugar Apple Fairy Tale up to? Click at episode 8 or something, and it's like, this is episode fucking 8, and they're at a point where it's like this fucking like raccoon came in and stole her sugar for her apple pie, and she's just like, I can't believe it, elf slave, you really are evil and stole my sugar. And it's like, what why no, I'm not doing this. That has a second fucking season that is airing right now, if not last season, and I'm just like, man, get real bad. How about you, Maverick?
I didn't have like a one anime, more just like, as I always say, there's so many fucking isekai. It is getting ridiculous every time that we have to do a preview.
I know.
And between like stuff that is genuinely interesting, stuff that could be like curious, it's just like word vomit, the adaptation. And it is so exhausting at this point to see it always come up.
Yeah, I mean, if we're really going to talk about the actual, like, blight, it is, you know, like, because the thing is like, the anime industry is really bad, especially, like, these days. I can't really speak on if it was any better back in the day, but I just think about how much anime is being made, and how much of it is just this dog shit garbage that is mostly isekai stuff, and like, I can't think of any easier answer to make the anime industry better, like, immediately. You know, obviously there are, you know, like, steps for unions and just better pay, etc., but just, like, thinking about something that would be extremely easy and nobody would miss it is just stop making all these shitty isekais that nobody's watching. Like, just get rid of, like, it would cut the amount of work in half. It would help so much. Like, people, you know, like, at least do that, please. Like, fuck.
The other genuine blight is like the starting emergence of like AI, in anime spaces, which is really upsetting.
Totally.
I just like, and just the rebranding of what they would have used to just do as machine translation, now just being quote unquote AI.
Oh yeah, that's a big concern.
Like, I know this isn't anime necessarily, but like, I was really killed by the fucking Magus Bride being like, we're finally gonna do simulpub stuff, and being like, all right, and then it's like, yeah, the simulpub's MTL, and it's like, okay, great. Like, just the rebranding of that tricking everyone again, because I felt like Japan specifically was really getting ahead of like, hey, MTL might be bad, and we should probably have like localizers who actually handle things, and that's a whole other kettle of worms we could get into with localization stuff. But like, just the way that it's now just like, yeah, we're back on it. People are just like fucking giving people Google Translate and pretending that it's a robot.
Shula submitted Smartphone Isekai Season 2 made me want to shove my own fist in my mouth.
He sent that in earlier, but I left it in because I asked for more things from people, and Shulis just told me, I already told you how I felt about smartphone anime. I was like, you know what, fair, because that is also how I feel. I also, whenever I think about it, want to shove my fist in my mouth and scream like I have.
All right. Well, on a more positive note, the last one here. Favorite anime of 2023. Elvie, what was your favorite anime of 2023?
This came at this is one of those like underdogs that like it came at a sprint at the very last minute. I think none of us saw it coming because it came out right like as one of the between the fall and winter anime season. Like if you asked me like 3 months ago, like I would say Vinland Saga season 2, but honestly I think it's Miki and Dolly.
I mean,
because it's like so tightly concise. It has a beginning, it has an ending. That's it. Like, it's like, and it commits to its absurdity very consistently. And there are times where it does feel like it skirts over, like, oh God. But it, like, it's proud of it. Like, it commits to it. It doesn't, like, apologize for it. And I really respect that. It is, like, a weirdly concise, solid anime series you could just watch, be done and go, you know, like it's shockingly very coherent and very good in how like unique it is, while also in the end I think having a very satisfying conclusion that I think going through the insanity of it is worth it. It's worth it for sure.
How about you, John?
Undead Murder Farce, baby. You know, I definitely should have watched more stuff this year, and there was a good amount of stuff that I did really enjoy, but I was hooting and hollering a whole lot watching that show. It was just a cool, well put together, badass show, and I hope more people check it out. You know, like I didn't see too much buzz about it. I will say, I don't think it was like fully overlooked, but I hope more people check it out because I think it stands to, you know, you can go back to it, check it out. Yeah.
I had the same take. It was that and Dead Mount Deathplay I put here because I couldn't decide. But I lent more towards Undead Murder Farce just because. Yeah, I didn't know anyone. I didn't really know much people talking about it, and I just think like it was. We've talked about it so much here. I don't know what else can be said, but like it really was just a great directed show. Felt very unique for what we usually see around, and just I would love to see more. I would love to see more of this in the future. I don't know how far the books are or anything, but I assume there's more that they could draw from. How about you, Maverick?
Undead Murder Farce is up there. Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, definitely up there. Birdie Wing Season 2, I gotta say, like, in terms of how you finish a damn story, it's up there.
For original anime, too.
For original anime, too, oh my god.
About golf.
About golf.
And girls.
Just ticking all the... Listen, that was a golf girl story. But no, my favorite anime of the year, it's Skip and Loafer.
Of course, it has to be.
It has to be. Just like a distilled, you know, for context, like my current work has me working with high schoolers again, and really just like focusing on those questions that come up when you're starting to realize that you are going to have an after high school. And those are very scary questions to ask. They can be difficult to try and navigate on your own. Skip and Loafer, it does such a good job of raising some of those questions, showing just like how difficult it can be to learn about yourself. but then also just showing the fact that, like, you don't have to do it by yourself. And, like, there is always something to be learned from having a chance to meet other people and having a chance to build relationships. It is so positive in its outlook on the way people can affect one another. And, you know, good on the show for just keeping up in terms of, like, genuine trans representation. Good on the show for having a slow build romance that just above everything else showcases why these two people care about each other, regardless of what the actual label is that they decide to put on, like, their deal. It just is first and foremost about someone who cares a lot having to learn how to, like, let things, like, slow down, and someone else that is easy to go with the flow having to learn how to, like, actually take a little bit more, like, control and learning how to, like, take more direction. It's when I'm saying this all out loud, it's the same stuff that makes When Harry Met Sally such a fantastic film. It's just the back and forth, the ebb and the flow, and to have an entire cast that, like, works alongside that as well. Fantastic. Just top to bottom, easy peasy meal each week. If there's ever a season 2, I can't wait to get back to being able to say that we're cock, dick, and ballin'.
We have 2 submissions.
All right.
For overall positive faves. First one, Toast Crust, which again was combined by an earlier opinion. Toast Crust had said, I can't decide between Onimai or Bandori Maigo for the best anime, but it's one of those two. Maigo is much easier to talk about to a wide audience, though.
I think that's probably true.
With zero thoughts or consideration. Absolutely fair. Yeah, Onimai is, like, weird because it does literally, like, I think that's something that universally everyone talks about. It looks interesting, but how do you sell, I don't know, like, that's...
Yeah,
little sister stuff, I don't know, dog.
yeah.
Other opinion, also another Bandori Maigo by Karen, with a C, Caren. Bandori Maigo is great for all-around emotional resonance and revitalization of a genre within Bandori, where I thought it could never exist. Demon Academy Season 2 for creative use of flashbacks and color to create high art in a really unique way I've never seen before. And Maggie Revo, because it was gay.
Oh yeah, Magic
that's
Revolution.
true.
That's true. It was, yeah.
That is absolutely true. I've only seen one episode of it, and it was very pretty.
Yeah.
But it immediately is very gay. I agree. And we also have some, like, non-specific thoughts also submitted. First one from Avian Crystal. I mostly really liked Heavenly Delusion, but it also clarified a lot of my common frustrations with that kind of sci-fi mystery seinen show, where it deals with heavy subjects, but in such a blunt and simplistic way with clearly delineated good guys who believe in people and bad guys who cynically manipulate others. If what I'm talking about makes any sense to you at all, or is it something you recognize, why is this so common to the genre?
That is something I've thought about more, because that's sort of, like, honestly, not to go into games too much, but that's, like, the problem with The Last of Us, right? To an extent, it's like, you're interested in, like, exploring this, like, serious topic, but then it's like, well,
post-apocalyptic.
And I feel like part of it is definitely people are afraid that, like, I think there's definitely this fear that, like, people will like your villain a lot of the time, and then that feeds into, like, well, I have to make sure you know that they're bad, but then, like, that feeds into, like, some issues that, like, other works have, like, some Cone stuff does, not that much, but it's just, like, this idea of, like, you know, like, we're going to make them look weird or bad or, like, just, like, other them in some way, and then, like, with this stuff, it's just, like, it is always comical to me. We've always talked about the, like, persecution complex in anime, where it's just like, come on, like, chill out a little bit. Like, bad things can happen, but, like, you need to, like, be like, no, you're not walking down the street and then, like, 3 Yakuza gangs come up and beat you up and steal your $1 or your birthday present or whatever. Like,
Right.
just,
Right.
I think it just comes from, like, a lack of, like, understanding of, like, I mean, like, I've always said, like, I think, like, you can tell when we were talking about 16-bit dispensation, you can tell when someone, like, cares about something and wants to create something. It's the same thing here. It's like, you can tell when someone's experienced a bad thing in their life that, like, really influences what they're talking about or why they want to talk about it. And a lot of these times, these people just don't have that personal experience.
Right.
I would also, again, like, posit it back to, like, Gundam. Amuro is not, like, necessarily a guy that believes in people, but is more just thrown into a situation and sure is having to, like, deal with it.
Yeah.
Char has at least this inherent idea of what, like, he wants, but it takes, like, a lot of fumbling the bag, honestly, which is a character flaw in its own way that really helps with him, of realizing, like, I have a lot of importance to me. I can't operate on that right now because I just know how to be a soldier. Ah, shit, I need to take responsibility, and the only way I know how is to make a clean slate. To take all of that, to take all of that to put into a character within, like, the 20 years that we get to experience them, you know, it does a lot, but it also goes to show how, yeah, it's not just, like, one specific good side, bad side. And I think that's the part of it as well that, unfortunately, like, there's no time in a lot of these stories to really delve into a more complicated narrative. Like, what makes the in my limited amount of being able to talk about this, the Borg is interesting not because they are, like, villainous, but it's because they lack empathy. If I'm recalling my Star Trek correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
like,
just an alien in the pure sense of the word.
The most compelling villains of Star Trek are not necessarily, like, villainous or, like, inherently evil. They are interesting for the fact that they are seeing humanity in a very abstract way, and the conflict arises from just two parties unable to communicate and having to learn how to create dialogue, if possible. And that is compelling. It is compelling to see two sides not necessarily, like, you know, have the good and evil. Those are always around for, like, allegory's sake. But to have, as I keep pointing to, you know, a war fought between two sides who inherently believe that they are doing the just thing is more compelling, because then it actually goes to see, like, what exactly is being fought over. And there you have discussion. There you have intrigue. There you have the additional points of, like, you know, why would you defect? Why would you betray? Why would you act in your own interests versus the interests of the state, the community, etc.?
Yeah, I think especially when it comes to, post-apocalyptic settings like
Heavenly Delusion,
like Heavenly Delusion, Last of Us, etc. Like, I think it often runs into this issue too, where the macrocosm that they really start off with the world building just slowly becomes a microcosm anyway, in regards to, like, you kind of not intentionally, but right, you kind of, like, start focusing more on these specific characters.
Yeah, like,
as opposed to thinking about the wider
right, that's
issues that cause this setting to begin with, which again is a complex system of societal issues, right? They all have the recurring things in regards to humans did this. Oh, there's always like some sort of human intervention that ultimately has caused this, typically so. And or there is that plot of, like, oh, it's some sort of outsider thing did this, like aliens, all that.
I think it really
Rose
feeds into the Christian American belief system of just, like, playing Pentiment recently really made me think of this over last year, of just like, it's like, you see, the thing is like, humans are by, like, instinct communal. Like, they want to be communities, they want to form communities and do things to help each other, and it's just like the way that the Christian and American mindset has shifted, like, the interpretation of what would happen in the fallout of this stuff is so warped from, like, the reality of what would happen. I think that's what happens a lot of the time, is it's just like, no, like, in reality, like, pagan communities existed. Everyone was, like, you know, focused on doing X thing and Y thing. People just want to get along for the most part. It's just when you project this idea of us versus them, the capitalist mind, the like this idea of like, oh, well, going to the holy world, we are all going to heaven, etc. Like it's just that's what warps the narrative.
Yeah.
Like people love to forget that, you know, Abrahamic religions all relate to the at the very least the story of Abraham, and then, you know, branch out in their own specific ways, but there is also at least evidence of all three sects, or like all three, you know, branches, so to say, living more or less like interconnectedly.
Yeah.
It's so... No, yeah, it's very frustrating, especially to see like the way that there's like that persecution complex, the very like I think as well, like the focus on just like, you know, after a debilitating event, sort of this idea that like there's a lack of trust anymore. But even in the midst of our own recent like, you know, world altering event, you saw a lot of solidarity. You saw a lot more compassion come through.
Yeah, and it's the ruling class and the bad people who create these narratives that were the ones who were causing the bad things, if you can believe it.
Say, I know people like to harp on the ending of it, in the manga at least. Anime still blew it, but the Promised Neverland, for what it's worth, at least is like willing to say like, hey, maybe it's more than just us having to fight against one another. There's got to be something else. And yeah, it doesn't necessarily stick that landing, but sure does a lot better than saying, oh, what we need to do is return to the way things were.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a couple of episodes in Heavenly Delusion does explore this pretty well, but they are still kind of like part of like a tiny microcosm to a bigger thing that's still not quite clear yet, because the series is not done yet.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a series like I really love and I'm very intrigued by its progress so far, but it's also something I'm very careful with bated breath over like me too, because I'm like I don't know what the end outcome of this series is. It's really getting more insane, right? So I do agree. Like I think it's kind of that trope that influences like the idea of like a character's personal journey, and then there's like obstacles along the way, which is like evil forces that doesn't necessarily resonate with reality, and or like other cultural belief systems that doesn't necessarily consider like or categorizes the idea of evil being like evil. You know what I mean? Like it's just a happenstance thing that exists coincide with goodness, right? It doesn't necessarily mean it's a force that has to be reckoned with. So I do agree with all of that, like what everyone has said. So I think it's just, and I think it's just, again, inherently like the cycling of like these tropes and trying to do something unique in this genre as well. I don't know if anyone else has any other thoughts on this, but
that's pretty much I've pretty much everything, I think.
All right.
Yeah.
And the last comment sent in, again, this one's actually more of a question. I know it's yet another VR MMO pseudo isekai, but how do you feel about Shangri-La Frontier? For me, it feels like the only one of the specific genre that's been written by someone who has actually played a damned video game. I've not actually seen the series. I've seen it in passing because of friends watching it. I would say, yeah, like to give it some grace. Like it does seem like it actually does know what it's trying to do. Like, you know, again, it's that series where like he turns into like a fucking chicken and then like it's a whole thing about, but then I remember when we were reading the anime chart, it's like a whole thing about like, oh, he's playing now a real, like the whole weird elitism over different types of games or something. Yeah.
That's what I've heard about it. Is it's like I've heard that it like understands games and things, but and I've heard people like it. Multiple people I know I'm watching it and enjoy it. But the thing that gets me is what Twitter user Toastcrust wrote in for us earlier about stuff. They were talking about how like they keep talking about like all these other games being bad and this one's good, and then it's like all the games they describe as bad sound really good, and then this game just seems like a normal AAA
taste
game.
is warped.
Like just
Yeah, the scenes I saw do remind me of like how like, you know, things like skill building and trees and stuff, and like some really funny interactions with quote unquote NPCs, like similar to how Spider Isekai was, where it's like, oh, okay, they seem to know what they're doing and they're not just doing like a parody of a game and in a very superfluous way. So okay, you know, but it's probably not something I would watch now, but I give it that. So
Haven't watched it either. Like, again, that description like really put me off of just like
Yeah, understandably.
It's absolutely fair.
And also, I don't like the bird man. I must be said.
just how he
Yeah.
looks.
again, if like the idea
Hard to sympathize.
If the idea of like real game is like, oh, I played an MMO for the first time, it's like, man, I think we just don't have the same definition of what a good game is.
Yeah, and they could make a cutting critique, about society and what it's deemed a good game. But I don't know. I do want it to before. Okay, so we should wrap up for sure. But I know, John, you have Trixie's list. We should go over Trixie's list.
All right, we are going over Trixie's list. Here we go. Thank you, Trixie, for sending all this in. By the way. Best OP, Undead Unluck. Cool song, kick-ass visuals, and storyboarding resulting in something super visually intriguing. Best ending, Witch from Mercury. A good continuation of the themes and drama for the show with some of the best music ending in anime this year, not for a show called Scott Pilgrim. Best OST, Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
Anmanaguchi and Joseph Trapanese work well together to make a cozy blanket of eclectic atmospheres with a real emotional weight underpining both the comedy and drama throughout. Most baffling anime, FLCL Grunge. There is no reason for this to exist with its horrendous visuals, repetitive story, confusing framing, off-putting characters, ugly coloring, and weak music backing. Its existence is an indictment of franchise culture. Best visuals, Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. The graphic novel's look smoothly translates to anime, while the way the show looks in practice along with crazy good directing balances the show's different moods throughout. A good number of amazing visual gags throughout as well. Best assigned show/movie, Liz and the Bluebird. The greatest movie of all time in any genre, in any language, from any country, even one of the best pieces of media and art ever. Trixie, I can't stand with you on this one, but okay. Gorgeous audiovisual experience, mixed with hugely weighty and emotional themes with moving, realistic characters. It became my favorite film of all time when I first watched it after it came out, not knowing a single thing about anything to do with Sound Euphonium. And it has only cemented its status as such in all the years since. There's simply too much to say about the perfection of this film. Yeah, she must have heard us talking about this shit and was just like gripping her fucking chair. Like,
I'm glad I'm out of here.
fuckers don't understand shit.
I forget what I even said. Like, I feel like I enjoyed it.
I was
overall.
positive on it.
It was fine. Yeah. Most
Was
surprising.
I on that episode? I forget.
Was
I don't remember. Most surprising, Stardust Telepath. Started off as a cute, but seemingly just okay slice of life.
I've heard this.
Yeah, it's very cute.
I gotta take more breaths while I'm doing this. Before transforming throughout the show to be a really well done, often emotionally deep series with nice character drama. Subtle yet consistently great directing helped a lot. Most disappointing, Trigun Stampede. I just prefer the original. This series isn't for me. That's fair. Best character, Sora Harewataru, aka Cure Sky from Sky Precure. Headstrong, determined, friendly, brave, tough, cute, cool, blue-haired. What's not to admire? Her character arc were some of the best of any show's arcs in 2023. Worst character, the vice principal from 100 Girlfriends. I would go so far as to say that this show is literally perfect except for this character. Her only use was as a plot device in episode 2, and even then it's a bad one. Her existence has never been justifiable since. The tightest shit, Undead Unluck's action. Even just speaking on an action level, it's like Monogatari on a grander scale, including its intensity. I haven't felt this pulled into the weight of the action in a show for a while. Quickest drop, Tomo-chan is a girl. None of the characters act like they're human.
I enjoyed that more, but
I forgot about that one. I forgot that came out. I think I mixed it up
the
with
first
that other
episode especially gives honestly the first couple episodes give a very worse impression than that show, because it gets funnier just the more you realize like this guy's problem isn't like he doesn't know how to interact with girls, it's he doesn't seem to know that gender exists or anything, and that's like a more interesting problem for him, I think.
Overlooked show, FLCL Shoegaze. Ironically, it's because it's FLCL that it'll go overlooked. It's a worthy sequel to Alternative, even if it didn't need to exist, touching on nostalgia and an inability to let go, and alienation in a poignant manner. Ironic for an FLCL anime?
I feel like I've seen literally the flip of this opinion vis-a-vis like the Fooly Cooly new sequels. Where someone was very hot about grunge and then had a lot of scathing remarks about shoegaze.
Fooly
Folks.
Cooly is the new community divider.
I literally don't like. I need to watch this like for myself at this point.
I'm just going to throw it out there. Maybe in 2024 that should be an assigned show. Or those should be assigned shows, you know?
I know I said
Think
I
about
really
it.
enjoyed our conversations, but I don't know.
I
and
could
then-
find something worse.
Sure. Worst anime, FLCL grunge. There's no reason for this to exist with the horrendous visuals, repetitive story, confusing framing, off-putting characters, ugly coloring, and weak music. Yeah, okay, just wrote the same thing.
Yeah,
again.
total flip.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
Interesting.
favorite anime this year, Trixie says, Skip and Loafer. On every level, it's a
Right.
gorgeous, comfy show, smartly written to boot, with characters that are lovely to get to know and always paced in a smart manner. Smart manner. Shima's one of the most interesting leads of the year in subtle ways that the show is patient with. Excellently done all around.
Shima's a fantastic character as well. Just like they go into the show talking about like how he's such a golden retriever of a guy, but also like they do enough layering in to be like, hey, you know, being the designated cozy boy is also a lot of work, particularly because of the way that you have to show up in some capacity. It's all good.
Trixie, you got to get on here.
We need to pull you in someday,
again.
for sure. I'm sure we can make it work at some point.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like, more than anything, she has a different take than the rest of us on things that make things a more interesting conversation.
Yeah, or at the very least, like write in more. Shit,
Yeah,
you're still
write in
on
more.
You're still on the art, so it's not
Yeah.
like you're gone.
Maverick's not even on the art.
We're gonna get the art. Okay,
I
we
know,
gotta
I know,
find
I know.
someone to do the art. It's something we gotta do. Look, I gotta fucking fix the emails still. All right.
Well, once we
It's
fix
just
the
very
email,
funny.
write in, Trixie, and
Yeah.
All right, cool. Normally we would talk about other stuff, but we really went. You know,
did.
I didn't think we would make it this far, but we really did. We're gonna wrap up. We'll talk about things next time. Me, John, and Maverick all went and saw the Log and Hen movie, and we'll talk about that next time.
Yeah.
And both of you also Gurren Hen, so make sure you
Yeah, Gurren
like
Hen.
touch on that.
Yeah. We're watching Yuri Kuma for the podcast. No, next time we'll be talking about Yuri Kuma, I think. That'll be our little, show to discuss. And then I get to pick a show. And I'll pick something that isn't Boogie Foff this time. I hope everyone out there has a good day, night, week, month, year. Thank you everyone who wrote in with your opinions. Thank you as always. I always love to hear them. And we'll see you next time on another episode of Unlimited Railway. Bye.
When you can be yourself, just try to have fun. That's all you should do. 緑が眩しいこの島へようこそ。スマホも時計もここじゃいらない悩みや疲れをすべて忘れ去ってただ楽しむのが君の仕事さがむしゃらに頑張ってきたけど毎日が空回りポジティブなだけが正解じゃないそんな答えに出会える場所 See what you have found Love is all have a good time here.